Hi guys, welcome back. Hope you have checked my last video on record to report process overview. If you have not checked it, I will add that in the I button. You can check that. Now coming to the next one in the same series, that is related to transactions. Have you ever wondered how business record their financial transactions in SAP or in any other ERP? So basically here today we are going to discuss various type of transaction recording process. What are they? Because record to report starts from the transaction. So the first one we are going to explore today. When I'm saying transactions, it can be anything, whether it is an invoice or any payment or any journal entry, whether it is auto posting, whether it is manual posting, every type of financial movement, financial transactions is going to start with transaction recording. In old days when we don't have any software, we don't have any ERP applications, so how business used to record their transaction? Business used to record their transaction in the form of ledger. So earlier we have different ledgers books are there. In ledger books they used to record different transactions with debit, credit, all this. Same concept here, that recording of financial data entry or financial transactions in the respective application, so that the process will be automated and in end we are going to get the required reports. Right, so this is the first step of your record to report process or R2R process. When you are going to start your career as an initial entry, like you can say completely fresher, you don't have any experience, and if you are going to join R2R team, then this will be your activities to post various type of transactions in different areas. And what are the areas we are going to learn today? So what you will learn in this video, how the transaction is going to flow from SAP system, SAP Finance system. What are the different options we have that is related to manual postings or automatic posting related to ledger. How the data will be posted with your subledger. So we know that subledger and GL, general ledger, is like you can say revenue, expenditures. This type of postings are known as your GL postings. Whereas our subledgers, like your accounts payable, for example, customer. So customer is our subledger, supplier, they are our subledger. And in business, we have hundreds of customers are there, suppliers are there, or maybe thousands of suppliers are there. So all this data, when it will be consolidated, it will be there in your balance sheet as in or in the form of GL. So we will see how the GL data is going to be updated and how the subledger data will be entered. So when we are going to post a customer invoice, that will data entry through customer, but it should reflect in the GL. So in future also we will see the reconciliation part. So that also we are going to see. But today in today's video we are going to focus only on the transaction part. So that will be there. Asset is also known as your subledger. So I will show you one posting with asset. I will show you one postings with accounts payable, means your vendor entry, and one customer entry. Also we will see the integration of your transactions. So this one I will not add in this video, means practically because it is connected with your other modules, accounts payable connected with your P2P, O2C. I already have different series for that. You may refer that, or in another video I am going to show you the integration part. So integration of transaction recording with SAP other modules. As a finance users, we should know that how the integration is happening. Of course the configuration part will be handled by the consultant, but you should know the process, how the integration is happening. So we will get some idea on that in this video, but in later we will say in more detailed way. So what are the various T-codes we are going to use in our data entry or in our transaction. So data entry, instead of data entry, we will use the word that is your transactions or postings. So let's dive in more detailed way. How transaction is going to flow in SAP system. So first point is that is your transaction through trigger. Transaction triggering means when the transaction is going to recording in the system, that is the foundation of your financial accounting. Means if I am the user and I supposed to enter some data in the system, I need to post some transaction in the system. So I will post some debit entries or credit entries, subledger entries. So that is known as your, you can say it ensure that every business transactions when we are going to feed in the system, whether it is related to sales, whether it is related to purchase, payment, collection, anything, any type of data when we are going to add or when we are going to post a transaction, it is going to reflect directly or indirectly in general ledger. What is the meaning of directly, indirectly? If I'm going to post an accounting entry like this expense account is going to debit and bank is going to credit. So this is your GL postings. So where two GLs we are going to use? So bank is going to credit and expense is going to debit. So it is your direct posting by using the GL. But when I'm saying customer is going to debit and your revenue is going to credit, sales is going to credit. Now in this case, sales part is your GL, whereas customer is your subledger. So these are very like common terms which we are using in, not in SAP, in every ERP you will find this terminology, and in interview this type of questions will be there. I mean, if someone is asking some questions related to subledger, or in the question if they are adding subledger, so don't get confused. Subledger is nothing but either it will be customers or supplier or asset. These are our subledger. Inventory too also. So that is the first part. Second one will be step 2, that is your transaction, the recording in the system. So in this step, basically we are going to explore. So for example, let's say a sale or a purchase or expense, when it is going to occur, the source. So when it is going to occur in the point of transaction, so or point of occurrence, that time we are going to record the transactions. So the moment the transactions is going to happen in the business, accordingly we are going to post in the system. Okay, so that is our second point. Third point will be your reconciliation of posting to financial statements. The recording of transaction flows into balance sheet and P&L. Whatever transactions we are going to add in the system, either it will be part of your income statement or it will be part of your balance sheet. And in SAP language, we are saying FSB. So that means every data, every transactions, whatever we are going to record, so FSB. So if you are record to report team, you are part of record to report team. So either you are going to post the transactions, completely entry level job. If you have some more like experience, then in that case, maybe you are working on the reconciliation part, like maybe you are in the senior role, so you may be working on the reconciliation. So that is also a R2R profile. Or maybe you are managing the financial statement. So mostly you will find your managers, right? So they are working on this part, the reporting part, or anything related to reporting like compliance and all. So all this coming under this one. So record to report is very, you can say, crucial process and very important process, and always you will find jobs. Comparatively, the salary package, if you compare with P2P, O2C, R2R package is more. And here you will find someone is from audit background is preferred. In the last video also I told you. So now let's understand how these transactions are going to be recorded in the GL systems. When we are going to record the GL transactions, either it will be a manual entry or it will be automated entry. Manual entry means when we are going to feed the data in the system. So that means SAP is going to allow the business to record the transactions in two ways. One will be your manual posting. Manual postings means each and every data I'm going to feed in the system, right? So I'm going to enter the debit informations, the credit informations. So that is your manual postings, right? So if I'm the user and I suppose to post some entry, then that is known as your manual postings, right? And another one will be your automated posting. But let's get this practical way, this manual posting, so that it will be more easier for you to understand this one. So that means any type of adjustments, it can be like when we are going to record a transaction, so that time a manual posting will be there. Or sometimes we have to also do a lot of adjustment entries in period and in month end. Okay, so those are involved in the internal audit, so they can better correlate these things. So when we are having some statutory audits will be there, internal audits will be there. So many adjustment entries will be posted in the system. That may be one-time adjustment entries or correction entries or non-routine transactions, we can say. Example, manually if you are going to post one entry in the system, so that will be considered as your postings. So better let me show you this one entry in the system so that you will get the idea. Even if you don't have any idea on the SAP system, still you will be able to understand, because very simple way I'm going to explain this one in the system. So let's go into the SAP system to understand this one. So this is my SAP screen where I'm going to post a transaction related to GL posting. So that means I'm going to add here the debit entry and the credit entry. For that we have some T-codes are available, which are known as your transaction codes, or navigation options are there. If you know the transaction code, you can use through navigation, you can use the transaction code. Otherwise, you can use the navigation. Both options are available. Okay, so if I'm going to post a transaction through T-code, so I will enter here the T-code. But again, for that you need to remember or you need to understand this T-code. Okay, so this is one option. I will get into that particular screen. That is one option. If you don't know the T-code or you are familiar with navigation, so we can do that. So right now I am from the finance department, so I will go to the accounting folder, then I will go to financial accounting, and R2R is related to GL, so I will go to general ledger and I will post a document entry. Okay, so I will use any of the option here. Let's take this one. So this is my screen where I'm going to add my information. So backend configurations, assume that consultant did this configuration. I mean, I already configured that part, but when you are going to work on the front end part, so definitely we'll expect that someone already configured the system. So that's why when SAP projects are there, consultants are doing the configuration, so they are going to manage everything. Our job is to feed the data in the system. Okay, so let me take here, whatever the date, let's take today's date, and I'm going to enter here some debit entry. So this is, you can see a GL line is there. So I need to enter here a GL account. Randomly, I'm just going to pick one GL account to post this entry. Let's take this electricity, then whether it is debit entry or credit entry. So accordingly, I will enter here. It's debit. So whatever the amount, let's say debit amount, I will enter here. Then as per the ledger settings, which already, this is a different concept, no need to worry. You will get this information when you will post the entry, and in which cost center the data entry will be there, that information you will get, or as per the configuration, automatically the value will get. That means when you are going to post any expense, the data should transfer to the management accounting point of view or cost of production calculation point of view. You can see one cost center is coming here automatically because of my configuration. So let's go as it is. Then I need to enter here one credit account. Okay, so let's enter here one credit GL. So it should be bank account, cash account, anything you can take here. So it is credit account, and we know that as per the accounting, debit and credit should match. So it will be 1200, and here cost center will not come because it's balanced account, and we will post the document. I mean, we will post the voucher. So if successfully I can able to post the document, so you can see document is posted, and I want to see whether the document is perfectly posted or not. It's posted. So this is my entry. So this is my debit entry. This is my credit entry. And when the person who is going to handle the report, so they are going to generate various type of reports like GL reports, cost center report, profit center. You can see multiple informations are available here. So they are going to take the data and they will prepare the reports. So transaction point of view, I will not explore this part. Again, we'll deviate from our current topic. So this is one manual posting. So manual posting means each and every informations I entered in the system manually, so that system posted the document for me, or because here I entered everything. But what if we want that SAP is going to post automatically the entries? Because mostly in business, as it is integrated applications, a lot of things will going to be happen automatically. Okay, so that is known as your auto posting. So where automatically the posting will come here. Or let's say our recurring transactions. So every month we know that electricity will be posted. So instead of manually, we are going to post the entries automatically. On a particular date, the entry will be posted. I already have video on that. You can check that. I will add in the I button. So on a particular date, on a particular time, that entry will be posted. This is basically helpful where the amount is fixed, like your insurance premium. So insurance premium is fixed. So on a particular date, it will be there. Electricity may be not the right one, because electricity on the basis of consumption will be there, because their amount will be fixed. So whatever the items are recurring, every month we have to pay the same amount. So in that case, we can create the recurring program, and automatically on a particular date, the transactions will be posted. Okay, so your invoice posting related to, as I said, insurance, your tax postings, or it may be any, you can say some premium, okay, some municipality premium, something we are paying, so that is a fixed cost for a particular tenure. For a particular tenure, we can take that and that will be posted. Your payroll postings, that is also fixed. So in that case, we can create the recurring program for the automatic postings. Another example, this is again FIMM integration. So we know that you can check this image, you will get some idea. When any goods received entry will be posted by the logistic team, so goods received, so they are going to perform some activities in their system, and automatically you will find that accounting entry is posted. So your inventory is debit, GRR credit, price difference, anything, whatever it is there. Now this is, no one is, finance team is going to post this entry. Once the logistic user is going to perform that activity, automatically the accounting entry will be posted. This also can be considered as auto posting. In fact, in business you will find many automatic postings. Similarly, for example, vendor invoice, the moment the invoice will be posted in the procurement team, automatically finance is going to be posted. Manual option, when I am going to debit one expenditure or something, I'm going to debit, and credit I'm going to win. Although that option is there, but that is not the integrated one. That is not the automated one. Automated means one user from the logistic is going to do something, and automatically we are having the invoice posted or the respective accounting entry is posted, right? So that is known as your automatic. So we have manual option and we have the automatic option. Like some sales order created, that we are going to convert into customer invoice. So in that case, no one is manually going to post customer invoice. Automatically the entry will be posted. We can see this image. So here, this is our sales order, and with reference to the sales order, this invoice is automatically posted in the system. So this is known as your subledger posting from the customer point of view, and reconciliation point of view, your GL posting. So you can see this balance is your subledger balance, and this balance is your accounts receivable or your GL balance, right? So both the things will be available. Now coming to subledger in SAP Finance. Subledger in SAP Finance. Here you are going to find the informations like how we are going to manage the vendor transactions, managing your customer transactions, and managing your asset related transactions. Now in this case, we have two options. If any business is using fully automated system, that means fully integrated system, so in that case it will be automatic entries will be there, or manual entries possible. So SAP uses here subledgers like your customers, supplier, and asset to track various type of transactions in detail before they are going to post in the GL. If I'm going to post a customer invoice, so in that case the accounting entry, we know that customer is going to debit and your sales is going to credit. Now this one is your subledger and sales is your GL. So again, customer data, if I posted here 5,000, this 5,000 should be part of my accounts receivable. So when I'm saying account receivable, that is GL, and your customer is your subledgers. So directly we are not going to post any transaction account receivable, but when we will do the balance sheet, in balance sheet you are not going to see our all customers 1 to 1,000. Instead of that, we are going to see accounts receivable balance. What is the total consolidated balance, right? So that is the benefit of having subledger. I want to see the customer number 10013. What is the customer balance? What is the receivable balance? Then I can go to the customer report, I can check that. So mostly accounts receivable team or O2C department, they are going to check that accounts receivable. But being your R2R process, you are going to check your balance related to accounts receivable. So customer balance is going to handle by your receivable team, and R2R team, record to report team, they are going to manage the account receivable. So that's why I said that SAP is using subledgers to track every type of transactions where it is involved before they are actually posted in the GL. So entry will be with subledger, and finally balance is going to appear in the accounts receivable. Okay, and as I said, there are three type of subledgers are available. Three subledgers are available. In fact, 4 in S/4HANA it is available: accounts receivable, accounts payable, and asset accounting and material ledger for inventory point of view. Okay, so first one we will take here, that how we are going to manage the vendor invoice. I'm going to practically post one accounting entry related to vendor invoice, but assume that in this case MM is not involved, means procurement team is not involved, so it is not integrated one. After that, I will show you one image which is integrated one. That means with reference to one purchase order, the invoice will be there. So that will be lengthy one that separately I will cover, but I will show you one image so that it will be easy for you. So now let me post a manual vendor invoice. Means directly we are going to post one vendor entry, we are going to credit the vendor, and some expense, let's say we are going to debit here. Now again, same in SAP screen, but this time I will post the accounting entry from the accounts payable. So financial accounting, then go to accounts payable. It is also known as non-pure related invoice. Means normal process is what? First purchase order should be created, GR should be created, then invoice will be there. So that is your P2P process. With reference to a purchase order, invoice will be posted. But let's assume that we don't have the procurement module, we don't have MM module, and directly we are posting this entry in the SAP Finance systems, then how we are going to post. So go to document entry, then use the FB60 or the navigation, and here you can post the transaction. So you need to select here your supplier. This information you should have, but this entry actually will be posted means accounts payable department. Sometimes if the original it is not related to PO invoice, so they will post it and we are going to get the output. Just to give the reference, I am posting it. So I will select here the supplier, right? So we will take here some invoice date. Let's take this date. Okay, and some amount we will take, let's say 120. If you want to add tax, again, all this configuration in backend should be there, then only we will able to post the entry. So I will select here the tax code that I selected. So supplier is going to credit 120 and we are going to enter here some debit informations and assume that we are going to purchase some lubricants. So I selected my debit entry. So expense is going to debit and supplier is going to credit. You will say, where is credit entry? So expense is debit and supplier is credit. By default in backend it's credited, and 120 will be there. And as it is expense, then in that case, the expense should be reported with a cost center. If you want, you can change the cost center, or as per the configuration, the cost center is appearing here. Okay, if it is perfectly there, then we can post the document. Document posted. Now I want to see the document, the transaction posted, and this is my document posted. Okay, so here my various type of informations are available. So while posting, I have not entered what is the tax amount. You can see these two lines are there. Now I was talking about the subledger and GL. Right now you can see what is my supplier number 200070. This view is your subledger view. So that's why we have the subledger information or supplier information is there. We have another view is there. If we'll go to the general ledger view, here you can see it is my accounts payable number 3001. This is your AP, this is your GL. The other one is your subledger, and rest of the informations are your GL. So this one we have debited, and these two line entries, the account number 3008 and 9 tax, automatically it's there because of the the tax auto calculation, but nothing will come automatically. In backend we have to configure, or the consultants, like we are doing the configurations for different companies, or any person who is looking for a career in SAP consulting, they have to learn all these things, or they have to configure it, so that for business user the process will be easy. You can see it is, for me it is very easy, couple of seconds activity for me. I just added few informations and my data is available, or transaction is available for me. But in backend we have to do a lot of configurations, then only it is going to work here. This is your manual entry. So manually we posted the invoice. Same thing if it will be integrated one. So integrated one, you can check this image. Here you can see this is my purchase order. So first we process the purchase order, then after that GR processed, and with reference to the purchase order, you can see this vendor invoice is there. It is same process. So ultimately vendor credit entry will be there. Here also you are going to have your reconciliation information, everything will be there. But in this case, finance team is not involved. Automatically when the process or any user from the procurement team is going to perform their task, so automatically this entry will be there. Okay, so in a separate video I will explain that, but already I have my playlist for P2P is there. You can check that too. Now coming to opposite, accounts receivable. Similarly, if you are going to post a customer invoice, again when we'll post a customer invoice, two things we have: either manually we are going to post the entry, or it will be integrated one. So when we are going to record the customer invoice and managing the incoming payments, so that is your transactions related to your customer invoice. So without sales order, if you are going to post a customer invoice, so we are going to debit the customer receivable and we are going to credit the revenue. Okay, so let's post one entry to understand that one. Without SD, without sales, we are going to post this entry. Again, my SAP screen where I'm going to post this accounting entry related to customer entry. So financial accounting, this time I will go to accounts receivable and I will go to document entry. So everywhere you will find it is document entry because it is transaction. So FB70 I selected here. So I will select here the customer. This one is manual entry. So customer number 61, then I will select here my date, any invoice date, reference date, and I will take here amount, let's say 3,200, and here also we can add the tax receive, your output tax, sales tax, and I will select a tax code. Let's take this one. Okay, and you need to select here the sales account, the revenue account. It's sales reduction, sales. So debit amount 3200, so credit amount also should be 3200. And here I can add some business area and post. So this transaction is also posted. Check the document. Okay, so right now I'm in the document view and it's entry view, means here I'm going to get the customer information or subledger data. So subledger number is 61. If I will go to the general ledger view, same data is available with accounts receivable. So the first account you can see 3002, that is my account receivable, which is your GL. So this time what we did, manually we posted the customer invoice by debiting customer and crediting the sales, and accordingly system calculated the tax as per the configurations. This is your manual posting. Now, if it is integrated with SD, now you can see in this image, sales order is there. With reference to the sales order, this invoice is posted. Now, in this case, finance is not involved. The moment the sales order, delivery completed, and the billing document generated in the SD, automatically my finance document or customer invoice is generated. Reality, or mostly you will find, when companies are going for SAP implementation, and for automated purpose, obviously they will go for ERP implementation. So they are more depend on the automatic posting, so that when the logistic team is working on their part, so automatically the accounting entries automatically it will be there. So for that, again, detailed configuration integration will be there. As right now in this video I'm focusing on R2R, so that's why that integration part I'm not showing here, but already I have my playlist is there for O2C. You may check that one, but that is a different departmental activity. Similarly, if we are going to post our asset related transactions, okay, so we are going to debit the asset and we are going to credit the vendor. So that is again subledger entry. Let's take that one. Again, I'm going to post the entry from asset accounting point of view. So financial accounting, then we'll go to asset accounting and we will go to posting and acquisition, select. Okay, so here I will select. And before that, of course, the other configuration should be there. So I will select here a date, all right, and the vendor is going to credit. So everything I'm posting in the same company code, which I'm using in my live batch, so that I can show you these scenarios. Okay, I will select the same. Let's take a different vendor, right? So enter and then continue. So what is the asset number? Let's say asset number is 3400. Then I will debit here asset. Okay, so it's technical posting key, or you can set replacement of your debit with posting key. So what we are going to purchase, asset number 1000. I know that this asset is already created, so that's why I'm going to use it. So asset 1000, and we are going to purchase it. Okay, so what should be my amount for debit? Whatever amount is credit, my amount. Okay, and I'm going to post this entry. Again, this document is also posted. Let's check this document. So here you will find that it's a bit tricky one. Asset accounting itself, one separate area which you will find in later some more videos on exclusively on asset accounting. So you can see that entry is posted, and this 3400 is posted, and as a result you will find that is going to reflect in your asset register 2, multiple depreciation area wise, but I will not go into this one, otherwise you will get confused. So it is, again, as I said, it's a separate area. So you can see today's transaction, this transaction is posted today, okay, and this document, it is updated here, so it is 3rd March. Okay, so this is again another subledger entry. This is actually, it's your asset register known as your asset explorer, and this is my transaction. So if we will conclude, so what we understood here, the transaction is going to record first, and which is most important step in the R2R process. SAP is going to support here both manual and automated GL postings, and here multiple subledgers are involved, like your AP, AR, asset, and to post the various type of financial transactions, and some integration scopes also there. In our next video, I am going to explain about the reconciliation process, which is a very, very important from your interview point of view and from your work point of view. Reconciliation and adjustment is one of the most critical area of your record to report. If you have any questions on this video, feel free to mail me or add in the comments. I will happy to help you. See you soon. Bye.